I just realized I've been making a huge mistake. I have to apologize for that because I've really not been clear in how I am explaining this. I'm Tina Lorenz. I'm 75, and I help people over 50 turn their lived experience into income and become findable to humans, search, and AI without ads or tech overwhelm. We're here to get you found so that you can make money. Views and subscribers are nice, but income is the goal. I think that's been getting lost in my messaging. People ask, should I create a product first or build an audience first? And this is kind of an interesting thing about where the logic goes with this, because this also gets us caught in kind of that endless loop of getting ready to get ready to get ready. I'm not ready because I'm not ready. And so why be findable if you don't have an offer yet? So here's how this works. One, you could build a product, but nobody can find you, or you have a product that just sits in the shadows, gathering dust, virtual dust. Maybe you've already got that going on. Two, you become findable, but you have nothing to offer. So you get eyeballs, you might get people subscribing, but you get no income from it. You're still waiting for that elusive 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. It seems like it's going to take forever. And there is a better way. And that's three. Here's why the iron triangle of findability that I've created is so incredibly valuable, because it's the process of becoming findable that forces you to get clear on what you're actually offering. I have found this to be so true for myself as well, because yeah, I'm one of those people that could talk about a lot of different things. I have talked about a lot of different things. I have become invisible in that sense on YouTube when I've tried for 15 years with YouTube, not really understanding what really could happen for us here. Because when you sit down to create your YouTube video, it's designed to be found right from the beginning. You have that intention. You have to answer, found for what? And found by whom? And to help them with what? Because what we're really here to do is solve problems. We're not here to entertain. We're here to solve problems, a specific problem for a specific kind of person. And that clarity is the product development. As you get really, really clear on this, which you're kind of forced to do in the nicest possible way when you start activating the iron triangle. You can't get findable for everything. And a lot of times we think we can or we want to because we want to help so many people. But you really do have to pick a lane. And picking that lane is the first step toward knowing what you have, what you're going to sell, what you're going to offer to someone, how you can help someone. It doesn't mean you have to talk about just one tiny thing over and over and over again. There's a whole process to this. So findability first isn't backwards. It's the forcing function for clarity. It's built right into it. So it's kind of like this amazing two for the price of one kind of thing. Because as you get that clarity, you start that it emerges. If you don't have it already, what you have emerges from that. If you already have a program or product, really understanding what that does, your own stuff, that's what clarifies your messaging for YouTube. And so what I think is getting lost, and I really do apologize for this because it's been in my own messaging. And by the way, sidebar, this is a classic example of being so close to our own things. I've dealt with this with clients for years. I always say the worst possible client you'll ever have is the one looking back at you in the mirror, because we're so close to what we have that we become kind of blind to it. We have kind of tunnel vision about what we actually are doing. And we kind of assume other people will understand. So I've been saying, become findable. And I think what people are hearing is get views or grow your audience. Woohoo. But what I actually mean is become findable so that when someone's who's searching for the help with the thing that that you already have, that you can do, that you can talk about, you show up as the solution for them. And when you show up, you have something to offer them. It could be a call. It might be a program or a book or coaching. Maybe at first it's going to be a freebie that you're going to get them onto your own email list so that you can turn that moment of being found into income, revenue, money. Okay. And we're not here as a hobby. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm helping people do. So if you just want to do it just for fun, you don't really care about any of that, awesome. But this probably isn't for you. This is for people who realize that findability without an offer is just visibility. If that starts to be like, oh, right, now I get it. And visibility, got to tell you, it doesn't pay the bills. Maybe you've noticed. Doesn't make your house payment, doesn't pay rent, doesn't make a car payment. Being visible doesn't do any of those things for you. Findability is a bridge between your expertise and income. And that's the bridge. We're going to bridge that gap. Oh my gosh, it's a gap we've had for so many years for so many. And that was only to be filled by constant posting or by paid ads, and both of those things painful and not particularly enjoyable and sometimes not even profitable. Without findability that turns into an offer, you can have the best program in the world, the most amazing array of skills, and yet no one knows about it. No one knows that even exists. It becomes what I call crickets chirping, right? You're just sitting there in the dark, like the little flame in the dark that nobody can actually see. With findability, you don't need a huge audience either. I know people have tiny audience, very specific for a very specific niche that most people would say, well, that's not for me. That's fine. It's not supposed to be for you. But when you have that dialed in and people literally show up at your channel because I want more of that thing that you have, and you have almost instant sales because of it, that's the sweet spot. That's exactly what we're talking about. You just need the right people to find you at the right moment when they need that thing or they just want that thing that you have. And then you need something to offer them. So here's why this matters now in a way that it didn't even just a couple of years ago, even last year. It's because search has changed. It's not just humans typing into Google anymore. It's AI answering questions. Maybe you've noticed it's on platforms like Perplexity or ChatGPT, literally using you as a source when you show up in this way. And so you're not seeing ads down the side of the page anymore. You're seeing summaries. You're seeing, oh, we went and found exactly what you said you were looking for, and here it is. And you don't even have to go any further. You found it. These tools are pulling from content and citing sources. And so if your expertise is not structured in a way that AI can read and reference and understand and see the connections, which it's very, very good at, you become invisible to a whole new layer of how people are finding answers now. And so for those of us of our vintage, if you're over 50, it may seem unfamiliar. Well, I'm not supposed to talk about myself in this way, or this, I'm not comfortable with receiving money. And that's a whole other topic for another day, because you deserve to be rewarded for your expertise. You deserve to have an income from that. You deserve to create the best part of your life by bringing to the surface things that you have expertise or a passion or a love for that can help someone else. That's why we need a new approach. The old way of just posting and hoping, spraying and praying, we call that, doesn't work anymore. Hasn't actually for quite a while. Maybe you've noticed that. The iron triangle findability is built for this new landscape, and it's exactly what I'm teaching in the workshop that's coming up very soon. I'm going to put the link to it in the description, because if you want some help with this, if you would like to build this out, when I have shared how quickly I've been being found online by Perplexity, by Google, the biggest search engines, Google and YouTube, the biggest search engines in the world, to show up on page one within a few days, that's the new way. And if you want to learn that framework without having to work harder, without having to post more, actually probably doing way less of that, pulling back from places that it isn't even necessary anymore. For example, your Facebook posts, hate to tell you this, but they're not really showing up in search. LinkedIn, the same. You're just running commentary and DMing people and thinking, I've got to show up there how many times a day? I have seen people say 10 times a day in one platform. Don't know about you, but I'm really not interested in doing that. Have better things to do with my time than constantly be doing that. So I'll put the link in the description. Take a look and see if it's something that interests you, because findability is the bridge between your expertise and income. That's it. That's how we're going to connect those dots. And without it, again, you can have the best program in the world, the most amazing resources, and yet no one knows that it even exists. So here's the thing. If you're over 50, like me, like I mentioned, I'm 75. I'm still here doing this and finding entirely new ways. This has been weighing on me for over 20 years, how I could help my clients, people that I serve, people in my programs, how I could help them be discovered, be found without all the heaviness of trying to run ads or learning all these other things, and have it be easier, faster, more efficient. And now I've found it. And I can't wait to share it with you, because we're not done yet. That's why we're both here right this very minute. And it really is never too late. So thanks for being here today. If this was helpful to you, if you liked it, please do share that. Show YouTube this is important to you, so you see more of this kind of content. And of course, I'd love it if you subscribe. And if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate. Put them in the comments. I read them all. I answer them myself. And it helps me also tremendously just to know you are out there and this meant something for you. It helped you in any way at all. Okay, that's it. I'm excited to share this with you. Couldn't wait to do this video for you today, actually. And, I will be talking to you again soon. So bye for now.